Dungeons and Dialogues, Episode 6, brought to you by YourDnD Channel on YouTube.
And Kellogg's.
And Kellogg's, apparently. New sponsor. We'll get to that later in the podcast, I guess.
We're not sponsored by Kellogg's.
Unless Kellogg's is looking for a couple of D&D nerds to sponsor, in which case...
Dragonos.
Man,
part of a balanced
cereal.
Thank you for joining us today. I am your host, Joey here. We have secondary host, Scott, over here to, I guess, my right. If you're watching the video we're not putting up associated with this.
Absolutely no video at all. No cameras.
Wow.
We
I thought this was a professional setting.
Yeah.
I made you lead for this for a reason, and then you ruin it.
Scott, when you're involved, nothing's professional.
Where's my fresh
You're
guy?
right.
What?
We're joined here.
Fucking fresh guy.
Where's my bowl of M&M's with no brown M&M's?
Where's my room? Don't hit the
I haven't had
table,
a
please.
Fresca since
I did that. Sorry.
Since like
What?
a Fresca.
What the fuck's that?
It's
Are
like
you serious?
It's
Yeah.
like a.
It's the worst.
Oh, I liked them. It's like
But
a
you don't like
grapefruit
taste.
pop or something like that. It's weird.
Dylan doesn't like having taste in his mouth.
If you like Fresca, like, comment, and subscribe.
If you don't like Fresca, like, comment, and subscribe.
Yeah.
If you don't like Fresca, hit me up in them DMs and I'll get you.
If you
Dylan's
don't
address.
like Fresca, argue with people in the comments. Like,
Don't
Tell
do
them
that.
How horrible Fresca is.
do it.
I've
It's
never
not
had
like they're gonna not argue if we tell them not to argue.
So as you can hear, we have the rest of our cast here as our guests. We got Dylan
I
here.
mean,
Hi.
I didn't hear Nicole.
We have Sam,
Hi.
and we have Nicole.
Hi. Oh.
Wow, Nicole, you sound like Sam today.
Hi.
Say hello, damn it.
I said hello.
Yeah, but Sam overshadowed you
Sam
with
being a
shouts.
cocksucker.
Yeah.
So we were just getting ready to discuss one of the first times I think we all in this room played D&D together, which was a Thanksgiving themed D&D session.
Yeah, it was
One
super
off.
fun.
No, it
Where
wasn't.
Dylan.
Well, okay.
No, it was not.
Dylan was our DM.
It was not fun.
Yeah, because we were playing. Was it Thanksgiving Day?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, because like
It was
everyone.
like Thanksgiving Day or the next day.
next
Yeah,
day.
It was
like-
one of those two.
and
was
so we
on
were
Netflix.
like, okay, well, we're gonna do like a pilgrim themed campaign, and so I was like, well, how do we make that work? And I looked into like the Roanoke island or colony where they had like it was like Croatoa was carved into a tree, and like the whole village was missing, and it's like a big mystery that never ever actually got solved.
The Illuminati.
Yeah, and a lot of people thought it was like the Illuminati or something like that.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So
Freemasons of the time.
Freemasons.
Well, no, the Freemasons
That
were the Illuminati
that was actually
at the
part
time.
of it because Nicole's character was part of that. Like, she was. Were you in the Illuminati or were we calling it the Freemasons? Freemasons. Okay. Yeah, and she was like the only spellcaster because of that. Like, you had access to.
Oh, and you made this cool compass. Is it a compass?
Yeah, what is that thing
Code
called?
wheel.
What is it?
Code wheel.
Yeah, but it's got a name. It's a Caesar cipher.
Oh, is that okay? It's okay.
Yeah, it's like you use it to like decode messages by turning a wheel, and I made one of those for Nicole, and we used it a couple times in the campaign to solve
Caesar,
puzzles.
not Caesar.
Because she was getting messages from the Freemasons that no one else was able to get, so she had to decipher them when people weren't around. Yeah, that was cool. I forgot about that. That was a really cool thing. And so, yeah, you were from Europe. You were coming on a boat, and so was Sam. His character was also coming on the boat, and they were like the first boat that arrived to Roanoke to find that it was gone. And Nicole's character knew something was up because she was in the Illuminati or Freemasons. So she was like, yeah, I'm supposed to be here because we know something's going on here. And it was like her mission or whatever.
My destiny.
Yeah.
I think it was a punishment.
Was it a punishment?
It was punishment for something.
For fucking up.
Yeah, I think so.
That makes sense. And then, Scott, your first character was the Native American, not the shaman, was it? That was the second one.
Nope, it's the first one.
First one was the shaman?
No, it wasn't. It was the second
I think the second one was because he...
Because you summoned your brother later.
Yeah, with the shaman abilities, for sure. I'm thinking it was your second one, too.
I don't fucking know.
Did you fucking die in that campaign?
He died twice.
I died
Oh my
twice.
God.
Twice. Yeah, it was...
Because of
it's-
him!
The first time, it was totally justified. The second time, Sam and Nicole shafted him hard.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
was way too far away.
You know what?
No.
He knew the plan.
He was savable.
He knew the plan.
Yeah, it's true. He didn't know the plan.
I-
Yeah, because, like, you were a Native American as well, Joey.
No, he wasn't.
Kind of. You were the spirit of Thanksgiving.
Some white dude in like traditional Native American garb with a giant bag full of food.
It's pretty,
That's all I bought.
pretty edgy.
And you actually died in that campaign too.
Yeah, I died trying to save Sam's sorry ass by throwing my bag of food.
What? No.
Yeah.
No,
Who was it? I threw my food to
It was
get
like a
the
giant
wolves.
wolf.
Yeah,
You had to
they were
leave and
attacking.
you just got stepped on.
Well, that's fair.
Yeah.
I had to leave, and that's why I died.
Yeah.
But in game, I threw my
I
bag.
think you... No, because you had this big fucking bag of food and this wolf was there. And he could smell you because of all the food
Yeah,
that
you were
had.
trying to hide.
You were trying to save yourself by throwing your bag of food.
And in the process, saved the whole team.
Sure.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure that they managed to kill that wolf because Sam totally took that bag. Like, he took your food when you were gone and dead. He was like, why would I leave this here?
I can eat
Definitely just a bag full of food for like 4 days down the road.
Exactly.
Yeah, like the first time Scott died was pretty fair. Like, you guys went into these caves and...
You know what? What I'm hearing is
I mean,
that
I don't
Scott
think it
just
was that fair.
needs to pay attention to what the group's doing.
No,
Well, so
it
what
wasn't
happened-
even that.
So what, it wasn't
You guys,
as-
we told
Go
you
ahead.
guys don't go in there.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
dangerous.
they went
And
up
then
to these
he
caves.
is like, we need to go in. I'm like, no, that's dumb. Let them die. Literally said that in character.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's dumb. Not doing that. And he's like, no.
As the
Diplomacy.
spirit of Thanksgiving. I have to save
Diplomacy.
these
He
people.
got me. And then he's like, we're going in. You're going in
No,
first.
no,
No.
you went in last, dude. That was the problem. So
Yeah, you stayed
you were
behind.
like, I'm not going in. You were adamant and refused to go in. You were like, look, I live around here. Those are some fucked up caves. I'm not going in there. And they were all like, whatever, we're tourists. Like, and they went into these dark caves without torches or anything, like just pitch black. And they're like wandering around, like, what do we do? And I think it was Nicole bumps into like this owl creature that I had made, and it's like fighting her in the dark. And then she goes to get out, like, or she's fighting it, and
No, I
that's
hear
what-
them screaming.
Yeah, you hear them fighting, and so you come to get into the cave.
It wasn't even that. We were getting attacked, and then you guys started screaming, and Joey came in, and you were still like, no, fuck caves.
Caves are literally the worst.
It's a skew shit.
Yeah, and then he's like, no, you gotta go in.
No, Joey went in,
No,
and then
him.
you heard him being
Dylan.
attacked.
No, I didn't
You
make
were
you
like-
go in at all.
At the
Because you
end.
ended up deciding to, because what I did is they were all in there fighting these owls things, and there were also wolves in like a separate part of the caves. So I had the wolves,
I ran
they set
in.
up an ambush. If the people tried to leave the caves to get away from the owls, the wolves were waiting at the entrance to stop them. And then you were like, I can hear them all fighting in there. It's been like 6 or 7 rounds. Maybe they do need my help. And you decide to go on in, and there were like 6 fucking wolves at the entrance that were like, oh.
Then
There's
how is
someone
that
behind us.
justified still?
Because the wolves were there, man. Like,
I didn't
had
know.
moved. Yeah, neither did they. I
It
knew
was a
because I
trap.
had moved
It was
them.
a trap
It
for
was just a
later.
coincidence.
It was a trap for them, and it got you. Like,
And we escaped. Thank you.
Yeah.
And
And then
then-
the wolves were feasting on our friend's corpse.
Just left it there.
And that one, so that one was like at least fair in the sense of like in this world this would have happened. You know what I mean? The second one though, it was your next character. It was way later, and
About 10 o'clock.
like,
at
they
night.
had-
Oh yeah, Lo and Poe. Lo was
Lo
the
and
first
Poe.
one, and then Poe was the second
That's
one. I
awesome.
remember now. I
and it
couldn't
was his
think of
brother.
anything.
And I'm pretty sure your second one was the shaman because
Yeah.
there was this witch that had made the town disappeared, and she was going to summon forth like the spirit world essentially because people were giving up on the spirits or something. And that was like you as a Native American, your second character was like, we need to stop this. And at this point, Joey's character's already dead and gone. So you're like, no, we need to stop this. But Sam and Nicole, both of their characters are like pilgrims essentially. So they were like, no. And if that wasn't enough, Nicole had like these orders that were like,
Yeah.
do not interfere until like the very end, then kill these owls. And she was like, okay, that's my mission. So Scott's there like fighting, and Nicole and Sam are in this watchtower like at the corner of town watching him like, oh
Wait,
man.
That's
He
a good
had,
fight.
he had his brother with him though.
Yeah, that's true. He ended up because he was gonna die like way faster than I intended. Because I'll be
He knew
honest,
what was happening.
I told you that the Illuminati was like, hey, like, you know, wait, but I fully expected you to like not, I guess, because we were at the end of the night and we knew it was a one shot, like, you know what I mean? But you were like, nah, not a chance. My character already is here. Like, I fucked up once to get on this assignment. I ain't fucking up again. That guy's gonna die. Like, and then Sam's character was kind of like I think you had learned she was in the Freemasons at this point or something, and you were like, well, if she's not gonna go help him, like, fuck that, I'm not gonna go help him.
I
Like,
don't want to die. I don't wanna die.
and yeah, then Scott just was like outmatched. There was just way too much shit there for him to fight. So I was like, all right,
That's
you
funny.
pull out some sage from your pocket, you light it on fire, and the smoke takes the form of your recently dead brother, who is going to help you fight for 10 rounds. And for 10 rounds, Scott had 2 characters fighting these, and it was actually pretty fucking good. Like, it looked like he had a chance. It looked like he was pulling it off. But right when the brother wore out, she had just summoned, like, a pack of wolves. Like, right when the brother
Again.
wore out.
Again.
And so he literally got killed by the witch and her wolves. Again.
Before he died, though, we tried to go get him.
No.
Like
Yeah,
one
I
round
did.
before he died.
Yeah.
I
they were
jumped
like-
out a window.
Yeah, we were like...
It was 3
No,
rounds.
because you were getting attacked by stuff. That's
Yeah.
the only reason you guys jumped
That's
the
true.
fuck
One of
out.
the owls
We
came and
killed the
fucked up.
thing in the tower.
Yeah,
we
we
were
did.
safe. It was you that was like
We were
dying.
like, we should just...
We're
go
like,
save
man,
him.
we just sat there and watched Scott die way too much. Time to go help him, I
Nah.
guess.
Yeah.
I can't.
To be fair, I'm pretty sure you guys failed that one then, right? Like,
No,
No,
I mean,
the person came at the end, and
yeah, we escaped
got
and the
accomplished.
mission was complete.
the people came down. and stuff.
Credits rolled.
yeah, it was like other Freemasons came out and like lightning bolted the owls, and we're like, all right, well, you know, close enough.
Good job.
Yeah, right.
I
That-
did what I was supposed to do. I was
They're
on
probably
the
like,
station.
they're like, man, that Native American, he got his shit fucked up.
Yeah, he got stung.
Like,
This whole area is a portal to the
But-
other world now.
but I'll be real, Scott. Like,
He's a catalyst.
in that situation, there was almost nothing you could do. Like, you were so like, because it wouldn't have been a problem, but there were wolves, and there were many of them, and the more wolves there are, they get like that plus
Yeah,
to hit you
yeah.
and everything. So it was like, fuck, man, no, you're just gonna die. Like, but yeah, that one you got pretty shafted. That one I don't blame you for that one.
I do. You guys side with us.
You had
I
an
did.
option.
Yeah, you.
Come into the tower and survive with us.
He didn't though, because I pretty much told him in roleplay like his character has no option.
Oh, well, fuck, Dylan, what the hell?
He
Yeah.
didn't. He was from the area, and he's
You know
like, "This
what,
is the
Scott,
end of the
I
world."
forget.
See,
Like,
you're the
it's
one that kind of
Dylan's
split
fault.
us then.
Yeah, you're the
Yeah,
one
you're the
killing
one
Scott
split
every
us.
time.
Because I was over there because
I
I had a
definitely-
mission.
Even when you're not
I definitely
DM.
am the DM in those situations. So yes, I've killed Scott, but like
Scott, it's Dylan's fault. That
the
he's died.
rules of the world still have to exist. Like if
Learn
the,
the lore.
if the rules aren't there, if there's not conflict between what you guys want to do, then there's no story. If everyone is doing
True.
what everyone wants to do all the time, then it gets really boring because it's like, oh, I want to go do this. It's like, you did it. I want to go do this. You did it. It's way more fun when you go to do it, and then it's like, you could do it, but there's this big, or there's just the one demon here. Like, you
Oh,
one.
just the one.
Just
yeah.
one.
That's not being mad about.
Nice and
Fucking
easy.
PTSD.
Nice and easy demon.
So you know,
That
and
was
like
fun. I gotta say, it was good.
it was a fun campaign. It was really interesting because like, there's this movie we all watched a while ago. I don't know if Joey was there.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't even know if Scott was there
I
either.
wasn't.
Vitch.
It was
just
the
that.
Vitch
Oh,
with
no, I
two
didn't watch
V's.
that.
Vavitch.
The Vavitch. It's definitely the witch, but they definitely use two V's. That movie,
They
first
need
off,
to
if
be
you haven't seen it,
edgy.
like,
That's edgy.
I'm gonna warn you before you go watch that. Like,
It's
be
fucked.
ready. It's pretty fucked.
It's definitely taken the old witch theory.
Yeah. It was
You
definitely
literally
like,
showed Dylan literally showed me a clip, and it's like, what the fuck is? I'm not watching this. This is fucked up.
You should watch it after
Imagine,
this
we were
podcast.
sitting here.
It's
all
pretty
three
fun.
of
You
us-
should watch it after
Have
this
you seen
podcast. No.
oh,
I
it's
have
pretty good.
it. We were all three like really bored one night. And I'm like obsessed with horror movies.
Yeah.
So I was like, let's watch this.
We went into this expecting something simple.
Yeah.
It was
Like a movie
so
about
out
a
there.
witch.
So that was like where I drew a lot of my inspiration for like what would a pilgrim, be afraid of. I was
A
like,
witch.
a witch, like, and so that was what I made like the main baddie. And I don't even think you guys killed her. I'm pretty sure she got killed by the Illuminati.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay, I did what I was
Zapped her
supposed
dumbass.
to do.
you
Yeah,
wait
I
until
got
the
saved
end
at
and
the end.
the lightning spell. Yeah, so they were like, all right, yeah, that Native American guy died, but like whatever, you
That's
pass.
That's fine.
Hey, would have got saved either way if you just.
You were a detective, weren't you, Sam?
No, I was.
He was an ex-murderer.
Yeah,
He killed a
I was an
king.
assassin.
Oh,
I tried to
Queen.
kill the queen. Yeah,
That's
Yeah, I
right.
forgot all
you
about
were
it.
yeah,
and
that
it was great too because it was like there was an assassination attempt on the Queen of England at that time period
Cool.
that Roanoke was
Cool.
taken away. So it was like,
Because we did look it up, we did research on it, and it was.
yeah,
Yeah, because I remember like Nicole, she was pretty clear early on. She
Yeah.
was like, I wanted to do a Secret Service kind of thing or a Secret Society kind of thing, and you were like, well, what the fuck can I do from like as a pilgrim. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, right. It's like, there's nothing.
I'm trying to be tough.
I'm running for my life because murderers and
Because
people from
the
prison
stuff.
were sent to America.
I don't
so-
know. It was just really cool.
that was a fun campaign.
Wait, so are we Australia 2.0?
What?
Basically.
Australia was basically a prison camp.
Oh, I didn't know what
UK.
you said. I was like,
How is that?
Australia's America 2.0. Australia was founded after the Revolutionary War. When
No, but
Britain
it's not
couldn't send
Amer-
their prisoners here anymore.
Right.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought it
That's
was
why
the other
it's
way around.
exactly
Okay.
why.
Okay.
Like,
I thought it was the other way around.
That's why it's a
Okay.
prison colony.
All right.
Prisoners.
Cool.
dude,
I
I
knew.
wish I could go to Australia. It's so beautiful.
I want to go.
I don't want to go to Australia. Things
Nah.
try to kill you. I'm
Sure.
fat and it's hot.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
fun. And, like,
Okay,
you get
well,
off the plane.
specifically,
and then
I'd
you're
like to go
attacked
to
by
New
this
Zealand.
killer bee.
Cool, that's fair enough.
Like, I want to see the Shire. Like,
Oh yeah, okay. New
Go
Zealand's
need a
different.
visit. I get
I mean,
that.
it's
You should
Go-
go buy a video game.
You know what you
Is
should do?
It's different.
Hold on.
Okay.
You know what you should do before you go to Australia or New Zealand? Go to Florida for about 6 months.
no.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, why
I don't
no
think
one's
I-
gonna make that
No
mistake.
offense to Florida, but I don't think I'd ever want to live there.
I
All
don't
of
think
the
I'd
offense-
survive in Florida. I think I have a better
Yeah.
chance in Australia.
Why?
All of the offense to Florida. Fuck Florida.
Because Australia has less.
But not to Florida
Never mind.
people. They're great.
Just the
Yeah,
state.
never mind. Yeah.
You know,
I,
have you guys seen
lived
that?
I lived in Florida for like what 6-7 months.
Have you guys seen
Too
that
long.
meme that like every like the Florida man headline meme?
Yeah,
It's like there's so many things where it's like Florida man
or Florida woman.
arrested for fucking a crocodile. Like
Dude, that shit's real. You go get a newspaper, it's literally front page
Yeah.
like every single fucking day.
it's like crazy. Like
dude, if you just
Oh,
get like a
Florida.
Florida newspaper like shipped to you once a day, you get those things. It's
the
fucking
heat,
hilarious.
it's just baking them.
Yeah,
Like,
dude, trust me, it is.
Florida man dipsticks some bath salts into his nose and eats a man's face. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, that was Florida.
Yeah.
Did you
Florida.
It was,
I thought
it's
zombies
so
were happening.
fun.
I was excited.
Only
No,
in
it's
Florida.
just a drug.
No, never zombies.
Only in
Never
Florida.
the fun stuff.
I play too much D&D to want zombies. Because God knows they're not going to be Walking Dead zombies. They're going to be like, nah,
Incredible
full-on
behemoths.
lich, bro. Like,
Yeah, right. Uncrittable behemoths.
like, do you even have a +1 weapon?
I'm
Do you
looking.
even know what that is?
Unending life,
Unending life.
unending life, and we get basically Trump 2.0. I'll take it.
Oh man, way to get political.
Let's keep the politics out of this garbage hole.
Hey, my opinion is my own. I respect other people's opinions, and I don't care what they think.
Fuck your opinion, Scott.
Thank you.
Your opinion specifically is
I
the worst.
I hear your opinion out, and I respect that. Go fuck yourself.
Wow, dude,
Scott,
I'm
what the
insulted.
fuck?
What?
That's not cool. You can't just say that to someone.
Especially on a podcast. man.
Wow.
Come on.
Yeah, this
Wow.
is a professional environment,
Wow.
dude.
You know what you're
Wow.
Professional.
No,
I
you're
was gonna
right.
say I'm here.
Yeah,
Joey's
well,
here. You're here. Sam's here.
Nothing's professional when Scott's here.
Nothing's professional when Dylan tries to vape and he can't.
Yeah, I can't.
Lame.
I don't belong to that vape nation, y'all.
Bro.
Can I see it? Can you pass
Can you like fucking wait?
it?
No.
How fucking
I'm having a
dare
Nick fit.
you say that?
Oh man.
You like this dulcet tones
Yeah, that's
of
the
Scott
only-
blowing sick
That
clouds.
is the
Nah,
only
sick
campaign
clouds, bro.
all of us played in together
Yeah,
so
like
far, until this one that Nicole's running. But
the
50
water
watts.
campaign we've all
Should be a lot
technically
easier.
played in, but not at the same time.
Yeah.
I started it off, and then when I died, these two jumped in.
that
with
campaign
Big Nicole
definitely
and
had a
Sam.
name.
What?
I
The
forget.
water
It was like
campaign?
it was
The
like
Crimson
the,
campaign.
no, that's a bigger one that it fell into, but it was
Oh.
it was called like the Danger Sea or something like. The Dangerous Sea.
Water
Sea
campaign's
of
way
Monsters.
better.
It was the Sea of Monsters.
Water
Yeah.
And then we were like, yeah, it's the water campaign. Like,
Yeah, because we didn't fucking deal with any water monsters.
Besides
We
that
did,
giant
except for the
Kraken.
Yeah, but that's like the only water monster we dealt with, and it was because we were
ran
like,
a-
let's get the Kraken.
we ran away from the Leviathan once.
We did.
Yeah, but yeah.
Actually, we didn't really run away from it. I like kind of talked to it, and it's like, we cool.
Yeah,
Fuck outta here.
it was like, all right, just get out of my space.
And I'm like,
and we were
fair.
like, fine.
yeah, because it tried to primal feared me, and then I'm like,
Yeah,
Nah.
and you were like a big dragon already. It wasn't
Yeah.
like
and I'm like, I'm not gonna fight you, but nah. And he's like, just leave them. I'm like, okay.
you're like, all right, but not because I'm scared.
Yeah.
Fuck
Sucker.
you.
Pretty much
My
what it was too.
shipmates need me or something.
Man.
Yeah, because Ronnie's like, you feel great evil coming beneath the boat. I'm like, I'm jumping in the water like immediately.
I hope
And he looked at
if
me
we
wide
played a
like,
water
did you
campaign-
just jump in the water? I'm like, I jump in the water.
If play the water campaign and you jump in the fucking water like that again, I hope something eats you.
I think I'd eat it before
Now,
he eats me.
yeah, now he's like 5 times bigger. Like,
I'm an ancient 5-headed dragon.
Fuck exactly.
the Leviathan could still probably eat you.
I didn't know you
I'd
could
put up
suck
a
up
damn
the
fight.
water.
Huge.
Yeah,
I didn't know you could do that.
that's the
That's
black
cool.
dragon ability. Because I can breathe underwater. With
I
black
think
dragons.
I can breathe underwater too, even as a
Yeah,
lich.
because
I
you're
mean,
dead.
I guess I don't.
Yeah,
I
you
don't-
don't-
You don't breathe.
I had a water elf though, so I was water gray elf
Yeah,
specifically.
I
Like,
got
Drawmites
some
are super
armor.
ineffective on the
I got
water,
armor.
guys, by the way. By the way. We don't
put the
there's
water
no
template
natural
on shit.
water abilities for Drawmite. They're definitely made for land.
Well, hey,
And
man.
you're like, going on a
Wait,
boat.
hold on. The thing is, mine is 2 and I got over it. Mine
Yeah.
was not even supposed to go over water.
yeah, we had to put like dirt in the boat so
Yeah.
that she didn't like explode.
And then we
'Cause she's
forgot
a
to tell the
vampire.
Pirate King and almost died to ban
Oh,
yeah, that was
yeah.
awful.
Almost. She did die.
No.
No.
This was
The
that was
woman?
before, and then it's like you see a great evil, and Dylan's like, "Someone, Pirate King."
Okay, so the session before you guys joined us, Rodney gave me an NPC who was a female. But part of the pirate code that we had to read off to the Pirate King, that was like all the laws, was like you shouldn't, thou shall not have a female on your boat
Without permission.
no, it didn't even say without permission. It just said you can't.
It's because this is bad luck.
Well, it's because Rodney has had he has had players who are less ethical, and so he's like, no, I just don't want what pirates do to women on my campaign. And I think that's pretty fair.
Yeah.
And we go into it being full pirates, and we're like, yeah!
Like,
Come on, help us on our boat!
but
Psych.
like,
What other reason is there to have a woman on the boat?
but so
To be fair,
the problem we ran into then is that every time we put a woman on our boat, the Pirate King was like, send in the Wraith ship. Like, and so I had this thing to call him, and I was definitely like, hey, I forgot to ask if I could have this chick on my boat. And he was like, oh, yeah, sure. Like, both times. And I was like, alright, cool.
Thank you.
See ya.
Talk
Thanks
to
for
you
not
later.
killing us with the Wraith.
well, thanks, bye.
Well, okay, thanks, bye.
Yeah, that's fun.
That was a good campaign.
That's like, yeah, that's one of my favorites I've ever played.
Thanks, guys.
Didn't I one shot
Hey, man,
like
you
a
shouldn't
dog?
have died.
Yeah,
pretty
you
much.
should have died. Should have backtalked.
Dude, what?
You're right. As the captain, I
sponsored.
shouldn't have tried to find the best fucking
Is,
shipmates.
Who
for
did
our
I
ship.
one shot
I don't know.
when we were playing that chess game kind of thing?
Oh, Mephistopheles.
Oh my god! What?
Yeah. I one shot Mephistopheles.
You know, it's just the devil.
One of them, yeah.
Just a devil.
He's a little weaker than Asmodeus, but Asmodeus is kind of new, so it's like,
I once shot
Mephistopheles
my
still has some
brother.
serious push and pull. Huh?
Yeah,
I once shot my brother.
I guess. Yeah.
Heart stop, bam,
I didn't
dead.
do that even. When I fought him, I had to just keep using tentacles over and over and over.
Right? It was yeah, wasn't it Tangle?
It was
Beautiful.
Elvarg's black tentacles.
It was beautiful.
He was so mad.
He was
Rodney
really mad.
was so
Rodney
mad.
was like, "You're about 60 feet away." I was like, "That's plenty." Like,
That'll do, pig.
I was like, "I'll
Oh,
place
well.
these tentacles when he gets close enough," and then he's like, "All right, I'm moving through the tentacles." And as soon as he got out of the tentacle space, I was like, "More
Tentacles.
tentacles."
What was that book that we kept getting spells from?
Relics and rituals.
No, it was the evil.
Vile darkness.
Oh,
Or
Oh, Darkness
yeah.
is cool. I like that one.
The first thing that book says, I'm pretty sure, is do not give your players this book.
Yeah, it literally says that.
This is
Because
for
it's
DM
definitely a
purposes only.
DM's book. But when you're an evil ass, vile darkness
We
party,
need spells from it.
yeah, we did all kinds of stuff that was super vile, like
Rituals.
genociding gnomes.
Just saying.
Literally.
All of them.
Rodney made it clear that a few got away, but I think that's bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He would not let us get all of them. We kept trying, and he was always like, no, maybe close, but not all of them.
The other ones ran away to a different plane.
Yeah, he was like, they left the plane and stuff, but they got away.
Good thing.
That one,
ship
that makes a little
broke
more
it.
sense though.
That's true. You have a planar
I mean,
traveling
no, it's-
ship.
Yeah.
Definitely a DM write out bullshit move.
Oh, it is.
Well,
but
no, 'cause what it was
we
is
said we
the-
wanted to start a God War, so that's what he did to kind of set it up. He's like, no, Gnarl Glittergold fucking grabbed these and threw them on a different plane, and she's like, I'm gonna go get those bitches.
But like, it was more than that too, because like the reason he was doing it is because Rodney does these like sequential long-term campaigns. If a campaign gets long enough and it's epic enough, essentially, he will add it to his Crimson World. So when our campaign started becoming like that, he decided that was what he was going to do, and then after that was when we genocided the gnomes. But he plays his Crimson World like if he were to make another one, then all the gnomes would have to be dead. And he's like, no, I'd rather say that if you're a gnome, you're probably the only one that you've ever seen, and vampires can smell you from 3 miles away. Like,
I can't wait for you guys, somebody to start up that campaign and be a gnome.
yeah, definitely.
It's like, you meet a great evil. What? Yes,
Man,
Nicole.
We really need to finish that one. That one is
Yeah.
it's gonna haunt us for our whole lives if we don't.
Definitely.
You're
Yeah,
never
no.
gonna. Considering the DM shit.
Every D&D group has that.
Yeah.
Every D&D group ends up with the campaign they never finished.
Surprisingly, mine's also the water campaign.
Well, you died.
Yep.
And it was totally fair.
Yeah. Fair. Just as fair as you killing Scott the first time in the fucking...
That was fair.
Exactly.
Rodney's was less fair. He hit you with a death effect because you upset an NPC. Like,
Yeah.
As you do.
I didn't upset the NPC,
You know what,
I
though?
upset the DM controlling the NPC.
I sent that dude in to fight the Pirate King one-on-one and didn't back him up, so...
He told me he's gonna.
I heard about that.
I was like, yeah, I'll flank him, don't worry, and then just let him get wrecked. We needed the Pirate King to be fighting someone for something.
For what,
So we can do
It was
something.
during the Solomon thing, or just before, or just after.
Yeah. Yeah, no, we were killing the Pirate King. We had
Yeah.
to kill the other Pirate King.
Solomon.
And it had to be, the Pirate King had to be in combat for it.
So we sent in that dude. I don't even know his name.
Yeah.
And then when he was dying, I literally was like, yeah, he killed my captain. like, fuck him.
Yeah.
Because the thing is like, that character never wanted to be captain. He definitely was supposed to be the navigator, so, like,
Yeah, and I
he
turned
was
him
not
down
happy
here.
about, being the captain.
My character's whole design was spec to be a captain.
You had your character written out for, like, the next 10 levels, too.
Mm-hmm.
You were like, yeah, I'm going to become this dread pirate. Which would have been fitting for a pirate campaign.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
but
thought it
nice.
was great. Apparently, Rodney disagreed.
Water travel, though, God, like, you gotta make it faster. Like, in the campaign I'm setting up that we haven't started yet, but will be on the channel eventually. Like, I added a lot of islands, but they're not super far spaced, because I was definitely like, nah, 6 months of sea is boring as fuck. You know what I mean? Like, what are you supposed to do if you can't see land for 6 months? Like,
Right.
Look at the water.
it's like you roll encounter, roll encounter, roll encounter, roll encounter. And don't get me wrong, if that's what you guys want, if that's like what the players want, that's great. That's awesome. But if our group is very roleplay intensive, so like, we fight everything, but then we want to say we sit at the bar and drink that night and stuff, and it's like, well,
Put a bar in our boat.
so yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So like,
Yeah, I was the best bartender ever.
Yeah. Then we got a Rit.
yeah,
The
Ritz
Rit got drunk as fuck every
He's
time.
our bartender.
Good
No.
guy. Good guy, right?
was. He wasn't the bartender. Scott kept giving him drinks.
Oh, okay.
Because we gave him sentience.
But when we were gone, you were very likely to find the Rit in the alcohol area anyway. So he was
Just
also
drinking.
self-serve.
Because he finally got
His own
whatever
mind.
it's called.
Soul.
Sentience.
Sentience, yes.
It was more than a soul. Yeah, it was like sentience because like he was made from this artifact, and like you fed them gold, and they got more powerful. And then we ended up like using 40,000 souls that we had been keeping in a soul gem because we had found this awesome shit in Vile Darkness to convert souls to XP for enchantment cost. And Sam was an enchanter, so that was dope. And like we immediately went to like
Sam
this,
was literally everything. He was a crafter,
Yeah.
enchanter, everything.
and so we went to like this big, huge boat, and like I think we had like something elaborate. I'm not sure which one it was. One of them we killed everyone with like poison food, and then one of them
Cruise ship.
we just scared the shit out of all of them. Made them go to like the front deck, and we're like, "Hey, you're all gonna get sacrificed in our ritual!" Like,
Yay!
Yay! And they
they're
couldn't
like,
stop
"What?"
us. Like,
Yeah, we're evil. So.
so and then we like stored all those souls, and it was like
In
a
a
huge,
giant
huge
soul
cruise
gem.
ship. And we kept it in the soul gem, and we've been using it for XP. And then our keeper of Rick gets strong enough, and he just kind of floats over to that thing, and like this white orb comes out, and he opens his mouth, and a black orb comes out of that, and they mix together, and that gives him like a soul. And I remember being like, yeah, but like, bitch didn't have permission for this 40,000 souls.
Yeah,
We
right.
definitely were gonna use those. Like, like, we had to go do more. Like,
Well, luckily we're gonna go to Carceres, the place filled with souls.
that's true.
Place.
I don't know if you can
Take
sacrifice people there since they're already dead.
But could you absorb them into a soul stem?
I don't know, probably not. I feel like when they're on the plane, they're no longer considered a soul. They're still like flesh and body. It's just that if they die, they pop in here again.
That's infinite power.
I mean, certain things, like if the Lich dies, they actually they still die and go to Carceri, but they get put in this red ice that's at Neryl's Palace, and they can never move again. They just have to watch for the rest of the time.
Well,
Become a watcher.
Those are probably powerful stones on their own.
Yeah.
Just get
you
one of
could
those.
probably fashion those into some sort of gauntlet.
I don't think I can
I could probably
specifically,
fashion that.
specifically because they're not stones. It's like the Lich itself in the ice, like.
Yeah.
So, and I don't think I can get through the ice because I am a Lich. Like,
What if
Can we break the ice?
Could
I don't know.
we just release all the liches?
I feel like here's the thing, is that we have to fight the Army of Death to get in, so I think we have to fight all of them.
That's gonna be fun.
Would Sam be able to convert them?
No, they're all immune to mind altering
They
effects.
don't think.
Sam has the thing that lets him do stuff to things that don't have mind altering.
Yeah, undead psychosis.
So yeah, never mind, you actually probably can.
Yeah.
Undead psychosis.
Yeah.
So weird.
So worth.
It's definitely worth.
Yeah, right.
It's just weird to think that you're like controlling the brain of something that's not using its brain. Like,
He's that strong.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
right.
can build his.
Yeah.
You have corpse craft.
yeah, that's right. That's what
I'm
we
gonna
were.
have Nicole build me some. Dope
We were
corpses.
gonna turn you into a mummy when we got there
We already
because
Yeah.
did we already do that?
Yep.
Yeah, but I have regular wraps now. I don't have. I want to make brain wraps.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
I had to. I wanted. And we need to kill a dragon to get him, but.
You can now. You mind altered me. You
I
son
know.
of a bitch.
But
No, that
then
was
we had to
undone.
go.
That was
Yeah, it was
undone later.
undone.
Someone totally undid that, and then you knew that we had done that to you.
Remember,
seriously?
he got to see
Yeah.
everything in the past.
Yeah,
When he
he
became
saw it
the
when he went
ancient
back.
dragon.
Scott went back in time
yeah, that's
like
right.
40,000 years,
30,000.
and so that we could age him up. I think it was 40.
I don't know.
It was definitely a long time.
Yeah.
Because we needed him to age up a couple times because there was no other way to
couple.
get Scott stronger. Like he was already as big as he could be without being older. You know what I mean? Like there's a limit to how big you can get magically as a dragon before you just have to age it. So we were like, well, if we can't get rid of that stipulation, then all we can do is send his ass back in time and tell him to meet us here when he's done.
Yeah.
And then we did. Like we sent him through, and like right before he went through, Sam's character was like, hey, high five. And when Scott went to high five him, he was like, did the whole like pull his
No.
hand back, like, nah, fuck you. And then when Scott's character got back, he was like, yo, high five. That's like the first thing he said.
Yep.
After like literally 40,000 years, he's like, I've been waiting for this.
My whole life has amounted to this moment.
That was actually really
Yeah.
cool because
yeah, vibe.
it was really cool because when Scott's character went back in time, like there were Rodney was doing really well with like keeping threads connected. Like everything in the story had a purpose. If we knew an NPC by name, there was a reason for it. You know what I mean? Like he was an important person in some way to the story. And then like there were a few gaps, you know what I mean, that didn't really make sense. And Scott going back in time fixed all of them because it was like if there's a gap, assume Scott's dragon filled it. Like
No
he
one knows
did-
the first Pirate King.
It was Scott.
That was me.
Scott was the
Scott.
first. We sent him back with Sam made literally. So the Sphere of Writ is this big deal artifact, right? And we had it because I had become the Pirate King at that point. So we had it, and then Sam, now that he could actually observe it and stuff, because it had been the Pirate
I
King
had
for a long
enough
time,
levels in repair that I could copy an artifact.
he could recreate the same exact thing. So he made it, but it was all weak because it gets stronger the more gold is given to the Writs. And then he sent Scott back in time with that one that was brand new, so that it was like as if it had never, this other one had
Right.
never existed. So it's very paradoxical,
Yeah, I think it is a paradox. I think we paradoxed ourselves.
but that's okay. Rodney
Yeah.
didn't seem to care.
We were there.
Um,
It was us that made it. It's
And
our
we
fault.
never let him touch each other,
Yeah, exactly.
Well, no, because when I handed mine off to the next Pirate King, that became the one you have now.
Mhm.
So that is not really a paradox. It's just.
It's totally a
Sure,
paradox
sure.
because
You
we
just
used.
destroyed.
I
the
mean,
one
we couldn't.
that-
It destroyed.
At
It destroyed
one point.
one of them.
Here's
so
the problem.
look,
Here's
you
the problem.
couldn't butterfly effect with it.
No, here's why it's a paradox, right? So, to make the Sphere of Writ, someone had to know how it was made, right? So the information on how it was made exists because it has been made.
Mhm.
Sam took the existing Sphere of Writ in our time and copied it to make a Sphere of Writ. So the blueprints he got were from the Sphere of Writ. Then he sent that sphere back in time to become the Sphere of Writ and thus become those blueprints. So those blueprints came from nothing. There's no one should know how to make this
Okay.
artifact because it just shouldn't have ever happened. But
I
because we
was
did
thinking
that,
of
we don't know
butterfly
where
effect
it
thing.
came from either.
yeah, it's definitely like you made it.
Yeah, right.
Like,
Yeah, he even said no one knows where it came from in the very
well,
beginning.
now we do.
Wait, what's the artifact do again?
It lets you control all the keepers of writ. So on every boat, there's one writ that is supposed to be the tax collector for the Pirate King. And, you know, essentially every time someone gets any treasure on their boat from any other boat or any treasure hoard or anything, the Pirate King's like, 20%, feed it to your writ, and I'll get it. It goes to my treasure hoard. And the keepers of writ were super, super strong. They're actually, from what I learned later, Rodney just was giving them beholder stats. So they're literally like, that's how, you know, and it makes sense because he had been telling us the whole time they had like 8 heads and that they all had, you know, the ability to cast from their heads and stuff, and that was the fucking beholder stocks that he was copying. Like, but you know, it totally worked because they turned out to be really, really cool, like, as NPCs.
And we
you know
didn't
what I
fight
mean?
them.
Like, yeah, we never fought one. In fact, for a long time, I hadn't even seen one transform into, like, they turned into these grotesque, huge beings, and, like, when we were still mortal, I was definitely like, I ain't looking at that, that shit'll fuck you up. Like,
I was like,
I did.
I
I'm like,
let me see.
like blood and all that because I was a vampire. So
yeah, that's
I
true.
need to get this
Yeah.
minor fuck going on here real quick. Let me watch this Keeper of Writ transform.
Yeah, definitely.
My character was messed up. I can't.
yeah.
At first, he
Not
didn't even
mine.
like eating brains.
Yeah, at first.
He's like, I don't know if I want to try this. I'm going to try it.
And as
it's
he
like,
consumed
yes.
the brains consumed him.
You stare into the brain.
And now I
long
can't
enough, the
eat
brain
brains
stares
at
down.
all.
I can't
It's
drink
truly a
no
punishment.
blood.
Yeah, well, there's no more left, so.
There is.
Yeah.
There's always.
Well, Rodney
one.
said that somewhere in the universe, each of us has one exception to our
Yeah, mine's that god.
Gnarl Glittergold.
No, the
Wolf?
Mine's not
Yeah,
good.
the spider god.
Yours is Gnarl Glittergold.
That's
Yeah.
why
Wait,
we
what?
did the war in the first place.
Oh, what?
Rodney said that each of us has one exception to our rule. So, like, when we had to go to Carceria, we each gave up something.
Yeah, I gave up on being known as a dragon.
Right, because you were
What does that
a
even
kobold
mean?
dragon.
I was a dragon, not
So,
kobold.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
So essentially, any time that he would have been called a dragon, now they were calling him a false dragon, and it was definitely like Scott's whole character was definitely his favorite thing was that he was a dragon.
Yeah, and he
Like-
hated false dragons.
Yeah,
Good job being a false dragon, you chomp.
Yeah, he chump.
I had the dragon route. I was going to become a dragon either way. I just sped it up.
False dragon.
but so like as we gave all these things up, like the one thing that you get to do, Scott, is you actually get to kind of move on as long as we win. So essentially, we're trying to beat Neril. But you got to meet Lo, who's like above everything, and he's the dragon god. And then along that, we already knew Tiamat. But you met Lo, Bahamut, and Tiamat. And I wasn't out there for the conversation, but I know the gist of it was like they basically told you that when this universe ends, because that's what Lo does, is he'll eat this universe and then throw up another one. It's like when this universe ends, like the only things that are coming from this universe are you, Tiamat, Bahamut, and myself. Like, and that was it. And that was your true dragon. You get to still be a true dragon in the sense that Lo himself is like, yeah, but like
He's a dragon.
you're a dragon.
Yeah.
Like you get to come as you're becoming like essentially the god of false dragons.
Yeah.
But if Lo is hanging out with you, I think you still win. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like,
No, because it was like, it's like you get to go on and whatnot, and it's like, all right, cool. And at that time, it's like, yeah, here, bam, Divine Rank 0. There you go.
oh, I hope I get to play chess against Neril. That'd be a really cool
Maybe that's how we win.
because I get one more game of chess against someone somewhere. I don't know who though.
Maybe he'll make it. Maybe it'll be Narrow.
That would be really
That'd
cool.
be fucking cool. It's like how you beat Narrow? Play chess.
I mean, that's not going to kill him though.
I can't wait to kill
No,
this
but
dragon.
it's like cool. We'll play a game of chess.
He might be able to make a death contract or something though.
Yeah, it's like I'll play you in a game of chess. Here's the stipulation: if you win, I die, or I give up my
Divine ranks.
divine ranks. If
You just
I
have-
win,
just
you
have-
become my slave.
That's
And,
true.
and it's like,
Right now, the only reason we're not his slave as undead is because we've chosen to defy him, and there's some kind of prophecy that's like if the undead defy Nero in particular, then he can't control them.
Cause fuck Nero.
Yeah.
Fuck now.
man, fuck Narrow.
It's a good thing there's that prophecy because we all kind of jumped in the undead bucket right before we even thought about fighting
Yep.
the dead god.
It's almost like that was the cause of the prophecy.
The prophecy was already around.
No.
That because I knew about it before I was a lich.
There's so
Good
many
job.
prophecies that we like didn't do though.
Bro,
Well, we
shit.
we did the first prophecy. Like, the main one that we were supposed to do was kill the Pirate King, and we did kill a Pirate King.
Definitely dead as shit now.
And we did it with,
Just
like,
not
Rosewood
mana.
was the last hit. Like, it was every single thing that the prophecy said would happen.
Yeah.
And we were like, nope, totally happened. Vague prophecy, brah.
Probably should put more detail in when he said it.
Oh, Ronnie was so mad because he didn't think about that either. He's like, you gotta kill the Pirate King. And it's like, we killed a Pirate King. He's like, fuck!
He sent the last Pirate King to fight this one when we wouldn't do it, and then we were like, that's perfect. And he was like,
Fuck!
fuck!
Like,
Like,
get
he's like, shit, I want to
Run away, the bad guys are coming!
He was so mad because he's like, I want to be mad, but I can't because they just outsmarted me.
BBEGs. Like,
Yeah. It's like, we just outsmarted him, and he was, well, I mean, kind of outsmarted him. We pretty much outsmarted him.
Nicole's over here, like, dripping blood on a napkin. Like, what's going on?
Why?
Because
she's cool.
Have you tried it before?
Got
She's
She's channeling her inner vampire.
She is literally Queen of the Damned. Like,
Yeah. Queen of all the damned.
Yeah, that's fucking related to the Interview with the Vampire movie.
that makes sense.
Yeah,
A
that's
what?
where I got the name.
What?
Interview with the Vampire and Queen of the Damned.
That's an old movie.
I
Yeah.
love
I
that
never
movie.
heard of it.
They're
It's super
based off
good.
the
I
Anne
haven't
Rice
seen it in a long
books.
Well, I don't read and I don't watch movies, so
Well, maybe you should.
I
get
actually do
good.
read. I take that back. I read, I just don't watch movies.
I don't believe.
Yeah, please.
All right, I listen to
Fanfic
audiobooks.
doesn't count.
That's something I stay away from. Jesus Christ.
Yo, off topic. I was at work last
All
night.
Joey does is read fanfic at work.
I was at work last night on Tumblr.
Oh, that makes it
And
so
I
much
will-
better.
I just looked up the phrase butt blaster just to see what would come up.
Tremors.
No, that's ass blasters.
Oh,
What
Yeah,
came
close.
up was like a couple of workout posts where butt blaster was like the name of the thing to get your butt in shape.
nice.
And like the rest of it was fan fiction.
So my thing was true. Joey's at work just reading fanfiction.
Just like, what was it exactly that was fan fiction? Because it was Star Wars fan fiction.
Oh my
All
god.
of it.
I was
All of
literally.
it was Star Wars. I'm like, what the fuck?
I was going to
Blaster.
guess because,
Yeah.
because it was
Blaster.
Tumblr. I was going to be like, is it supernatural? Like,
That would make a lot of sense. Star Wars does not.
Luke. Like,
Luke, you got a butt blast.
use the butt blast, Luke.
I am your butt blast.
No.
Oh,
I haven't seen
cat.
Star Wars.
It's good.
Eh,
Don't watch it.
the first ones were better. The new ones are
Watch the
sucky.
first 6 and then none of the other ones.
4,
I mean,
5, and 6 are pretty
I'll be
good.
honest.
1, 2, and 3 are all right.
I don't think I'm ever going to watch them because the world is
And
so.
why bring it up?
Because I've never seen them.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't
You were
change that I've never
supposed
seen
to
them.
watch them here, but we never got.
Well, and at this point, I feel like the whole world hyped it up. Like, I don't think I'm gonna like it as much as I'm
dude.
expected to like it. So
4, 5, and 6 are good.
the new ones.
The new ones suck.
1, 2, and 3 pretty not that great.
But they do set up a good plot
I know
line.
I've seen
They
parts
keep
of
you-
3.
Yeah, they keep you entertained.
Almost
They're-
all of it. I
Like,
think.
I'll be honest, they're not as good as everyone say they are. I love Star Wars, but it's not as good as everyone says they are.
I
I
gotta
was
say,
like,
it's
they're
like-
I mean, I was surprised and thoroughly entertained because, like, I only saw parts of the third one. I was at my mom's house and it was just on TV or something, and I saw the part where Anakin kills all the kids,
Yeah.
yeah.
and I was thrown off guard, and I was definitely like, man, maybe these movies have something to them.
That was so fucked
Like-
up.
George
Like,
Lucas.
it's such a good storyline. I like it. It just depends on you.
Do you like space operas?
No.
It's
you
not
like-
an opera.
It's a space
It's
opera.
not. It's
Yeah.
like.
It's 100%
It's
space
no,
opera.
it's a space soap
Is
opera.
there music?
No.
No,
there's
it's
no
a soap
music.
opera.
I thought an opera
Hey.
required music.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's like a
yeah.
soap opera.
I've never seen a soap opera. So.
You never seen a soap opera?
My grandma watches them, but that's
Yeah,
about as
those
close
don't
as I
have a lot of
understand.
fucking music.
Shout out Dylan's grandma.
Yeah,
Yeah, my grandma's pretty cool.
sweet old lady.
She watches The Young and the Restless, I think.
Of course.
That's an
Yeah.
okay one.
My aunt watches it.
Shout
It's
out
her
to the Young and
sister.
the Restless.
Shout out to
Sponsored
Passion.
Sponsored by.
Fuck
Shout,
Passion.
Not
shout out to
sponsored.
Days of Our Lives.
We're not
Yeah, that
sponsored,
doesn't
but if
make
you
me
want
wanna
to
kill
sponsor us,
myself.
Days of Our Lives, I'll try watching your show.
No, you
Yeah,
don't.
I won't even
Dude.
say it's bad right now.
You know what's funny?
Days of Our Lives, I'm sorry to tell you, you can't sponsor us. I'm not going to watch your show.
You know what's funny?
You
I
can
literally
sponsor
watched
us,
the
I'll
first
watch it.
4 seasons of Days of Our Lives because when I was little we didn't have cable, so our next door neighbor would fucking videotape them with their VCR and just bring it over and me and my mom watch Days of Our Lives because there's no TV.
I mean,
It was okay.
wow, Scott, you didn't tell me that you watched soap operas.
Yeah, I love that soap opera
Keep that in
D&D fan crossover.
Yeah, back to D&D.
If you guys want to see a D&D soap opera
In
starring
Spanish.
Scott,
In Spanish.
press 2. Like,
If you want to watch Dylan kill himself, don't press any buttons. Shit! Why did you guys press buttons?
I'm keeping his computer. Keeping it.
You can't keep his computer at his house.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
That's where we'll also leave the body.
Yeah, dibs, yo. Run in and be like, what are you doing here? I'm just like, oh, I'm picking up something for Dylan. And then I'm leaving. And then I'm leaving.
I'm pretty sure you won't even ask. I'm pretty sure I'll be in his room just sitting there watching fucking anime.
Yeah. Oh, well.
Fucking
I
weeb.
still
I
take
never
computer,
talk
don't worry,
fucking weeb. God damn it, Dylan. I'm gonna grab my baby and have it.
We want to talk about anime and D&D. I'm sure Dylan's got a couple stories about that.
He does.
I know
I'm
because
dead.
I was a part of them.
You
I hung
just-
myself
you
just a
just-
minute ago, guys.
Hey, dead people don't talk. Shut up. Jeez.
Sam.
2d6.
Dylan.
The attack. The gun bullet.
Joey.
No.
Man,
Rainbow
Hey,
wall.
do you
The
know,
dead don't talk.
do you know, you definitely know you've been playing D&D for a while when your life becomes skill checks.
Yeah.
Yes, I do that a lot.
I know, it definitely is like, you don't even think about it, and you're definitely like, oh, I totally just passed a whatever check. Like Sam failed a life check.
Now he's dead.
He has no life.
Dude, you,
That was before the podcast started.
you go to get like McDonald's and get your giant cup full of pop, and you're trying to carry it in 17 cheeseburgers.
What?
So you do a balance check.
Yeah, exactly. And I
And you
failed
fail.
miserably.
You drop the pop.
Played Stage, okay?
Stop, Scott. I've heard of it. I've not played it.
It's really good, and like they have like skill charts, and I always do skill charts to life now. It's really fun.
I feel that.
Yeah.
I put all my points in random ass knowledge.
Like, whenever I'm telling my boss why I'm late to work, it's like, bluff check. Do I pass my bluff check? Nope, not this
No.
time.
Customer calls in and wants to know exactly why their bill goes up. Bluff check.
Bluff check.
Because I don't know why it went up.
Fails.
Well, let
every
me
time.
take a look here, and sits there silently for 2 minutes.
They hang up. Bluff
For
check.
20 minutes, just...
Looking at your phone.
Yeah, right.
Oh,
Reading
Looking
Star
at
Wars
Tumblr.
pamphlets on Tumblr about fucking butt blasters.
Like a professional.
We're professional. We're professional here.
Sir, are you? I'm still looking, man. Hold on.
Come on. Just chill out.
Well, I'm gonna have to put you on hold real quick.
Nah, you weren't even allowed to just do that.
And I don't
You have to have a pretty good reason anymore.
like reaching out to the lead line and hanging up before the lead gets
What?
That's just an idea that popped in my head.
Oh, I thought you did that with
No.
Joey.
No, I enjoy keeping my job. It helps me pay for doing shit like this.
Nah.
Yeah, it doesn't help you pay for your baby. That's
Nope.
not why you have the job.
Yeah.
No, that's the drug rings.
The drug rings pay for. I wanted a stable life for my daughter.
So I joined the cartel.
I run
Oh,
drugs from
you
Mexico
gotta-
4 days a week, Spectrum 3 days a week.
We gotta wrap this up. I need to be in Mexico in 2 hours.
And let's be real, which of those two is the lesser evil?
The cartel.
If you ask our customers.
Have you seen your bill? Like,
Yeah.
Did the cartel charge you $60 extra than they needed to?
No.
I mean, maybe, but...
Well, go ahead and call them. That's what I thought.
Are you getting tired of being screwed over on that Mexican bang bang in the back seat?
Mexican
Call
bang
Spectrum.
bang. Yeah, guys. By the way, you could totally call Spectrum if the Mexican cartel screws you on your Mexican bang bang.
It's cocaine.
Oh, okay. If they screw you on cocaine, Spectrum has a policy that'll totally fix that
Yep.
for sure.
Hashtag sponsored.
Yeah, I used to work there. I would know.
I definitely work there.
I'm a professional.
Don't
Yeah.
call in, please, for the love of God.
Hey Sam, you're a.
Oh,
Hey, they
Nicole's
can't see
holding a
that.
sign that says "bitch."
It's a book.
Oh, it's a
That's a
sign.
Wow, Dylan.
Just staple it to
I
a
mean,
fucking
what's the
piece of wood.
difference?
I mean,
Pages.
pages.
One's a piece of
I guess
literature,
so.
and one is a sign. Fuck dumbass.
That's circular logic. You can't say something is a thing to explain what it is, bro. The dictionary teaches you that. If you ever read one.
Have you even read a dictionary?
I mean,
Cover
No.
to cover, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
But have I ever? I remember in young elementary school we had
No.
these.
That's where you're wrong. You didn't have an elementary school grade.
We had these like
You don't have
electric
memory.
dictionaries, and I remember looking up like bitch and ass, and it would be like a female dog for breeding or something.
A female dog, a female show dog in heat.
and then like the same thing. It was like a donkey, and I was like, I remember I was like maybe like 8 or 9. I was like, like I got the dictionary to say ass. And it's like this type of
curse word in a book.
It wasn't a book. It was like this keyboard, like electric dictionary that we had.
Oh.
It was really
I
weird.
think we had something like that. You know,
Remember Microsoft Sam?
Bleep that out
I'm
when
pretty
get
sure
back.
you
We don't
do.
want them to know.
it was like 7,000 Newarks.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
I
there
do.
But they
is.
also, we've already mentioned we live in Ohio.
No, we didn't.
We
We
have.
did
Now
now.
you did.
No, we did on the last time I was on.
Oh.
We literally
So I have to
you
censor
stupid
that and this one when
fuckers.
you just said it. We keep the Newark.
all of these air horns. Like,
Oh,
Nice.
bad.
you definitely censor with maximum volume air horns, right?
With maximum.
No, I don't know what you're talking
use
about.
that.
It's
We
just
always-
Just
a
use
cut.
that sound
It's
that
just
Scott
a-
just made.
It's just a cut in the audio where like you gotta say it and it's just completely gone. And it's just like, yeah, we live in, and that's why we play the.
Yeah, I'm not worried about people being creepy stalkers.
Yeah.
But if they are, like,
Don't.
right, like,
Like
don't.
they would.
If we do, I live at.
Like even like if we have like a lot of followers on Instagram, any of them could be.
That's true.
Psychopath.
It's
Yeah.
definitely.
Not saying that they are.
I'll
But
tell you my
You
address.
mean
Come kill me,
dedicated
please.
fan.
Yeah,
You mean-
there's
An
dedicated
adoring
fans, and then
fan.
there's
Oh my
people
God.
that go to your house.
Even
Yeah,
dedicated
even
fan
that work, I
base who has money to travel.
has money, will travel,
Just
will
like-
find you.
just like the Spectrum subscribers who threatened to kick my ass and live
yeah,
4 states
kill us
away.
in the parking lot.
Yeah, that was a big deal.
And
They
yeah.
definitely were like, don't tell them, if you can't help it, don't tell them exactly which call center you're in. Like, because they definitely were worried that someone might actually show up with a gun, which, to be fair, some of the customers
Probably would.
definitely would.
Did I ever tell you a story about
Some people got just way too mad.
Yeah.
Do my art.
There's
Beautiful. It's beautiful. I don't want it.
one of my friends I used to play D&D with was telling me about a story they had when they worked at Time Warner Cable. They're like, they got a call from some lady, and it's like, what the hell is on this bill? Why is it so much? Why is it like $120 more? It's like, all right, well, let me hold on a second. Let me just look. It's like, oh, well, you have like
17 cable boxes.
no, you have like 10 extra channels that are premium channels, like an extra package.
Oh, Jesus.
It's like, well, what's some of the names on them? I'm not gonna say the names, but I'll tell you what it is. It's like, oh, it's a bunch of gay porn,
Oh man.
Oh,
and
yeah,
she's
that-
like,
Yeah.
what? There's
That's
only
not even
the
that
only
hard.
other person that lives here is my. Thank you. I'll call you right back.
Dude,
Yeah, you have no idea how often you get that call.
Really?
this is
Yeah.
super illegal to probably talk about, but I will never forget the time this dude got chewed out on the phone when his wife called in to ask why the bill was so high.
I mean, it's okay to. You're allowed to talk about a call. You're just not allowed to give
Names.
numbers or
Okay.
account numbers or anything.
This lady called in. This probably should be the last Spectrum story. But this lady called in
That's
wanting to know why her bill is so high, and I'm listing off all these porns.
Yeah.
And she's just like, "Will you hold on 1 second?" And you hear the phone hit the table, and then she just starts screaming at her husband. Picks the phone back up and goes, "All right, those will be paid. Thank you."
I remember.
Like nice.
Internet? Like,
Does she not have internet?
You know what? Some people don't. I had this old guy who called in who definitely was just
Sad.
using his cable for porn, and then that was definitely like that was the thing. Well, it was funny because I had a supervisor. I won't say his name, but that was what he told me. He told me I should have offered the guy internet and told him he could watch porn on the internet instead because he was spending so much on porn.
yeah.
And I was like, manager name here, no. like, I am not gonna agree
Give
to
him
that.
advice.
That's, like,
Yeah, you know, you go to
Yeah.
www.whateveroneyouwant.com.
yeah, you go to, so I see here you watched Granny Titty Bang. Like,
I had the
they
pleasure.
always, dude, every porn
they had the
that
worst
had
fucking
was the
names.
weirdest fucking
Oh my
names.
god, I heard the best one the other day. It's it was the title of it was literally "Put Some Black in Your Crack."
I mean, very
Is that
fanatic.
like a Whitney Houston reference?
I have
My-
no idea, but I thought I was gonna piss myself. I was laughing so hard.
And then he watched it.
Because
The
it's
one-
got like looking at porn.
The
3
one,
times.
No, it was I was on. Oh wow, I was on Discord with my buddy and his mom and dad,
They were
So-
watching porn.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
no, and they were like, so the cable that we were getting ready to turn on the TV and watch some TV, and we were going through the menu, and he just held down the down arrow button, and he's like, "What?" And he stopped and turned around and started talking to her, and she looked back, and she's like, "What the fuck did you just stop on?" And that's what it was.
That's awesome. My favorite,
They
like,
watched it.
I mean,
generic-
I don't doubt that. I don't care. I don't live with him anymore.
My favorite, like, porn title ever was Weapons of Ass Destruction.
Oh my god.
Wow, Scott.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Oh, fucking
Too
hell.
late.
I said ass destruction, not throat destruction.
Yeah, not ear destruction. Sorry, headphone users.
Yeah, right. I'm
It
gonna
is
try and normalize that the best I can.
It is
Thanks.
I'll scream into that fucking mic.
If
Don't
you fucking
scream
do,
into
I'll
it.
cut your throat out.
Please. Give me the fucking
Nicole,
mic
what
right
actually, that just reminded me, you died to a banshee. What happened? Because
now.
I
She
don't,
screamed.
I know it screamed at you, but, like,
I
how'd you
lost.
come back?
We resurrected her. We had a
resurrect.
wand of resurrection
And that's the only
and a
time we
ritual
could.
with Rosewood.
Okay, because you were undead already. I know that.
She was a half vampire at the time.
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
It was like in the beginning of the campaign.
Okay. It was
Rosewood's
really
like, I have a
That
ritual.
was
Do you have
so
a wand of
stupid.
resurrection? It's like, yeah. It's like, that's one of the components.
I
We're
was
gonna do
so
this.
upset. You don't even
Yeah.
know.
You
Like
guys got-
I
You
felt
got
that.
one-shotted by that bitch.
Yeah.
Man, you were upset. They got the wand of resurrection after I'd already died. Like,
They
for 3
didn't even
days, so
think
there
about
was
bringing
no
you back.
me
That's
coming
not
back.
true. We looked, but we couldn't find any of his ashes because we had scattered him. No,
No.
he was buried.
No.
The bartender, we didn't even know where.
Yeah, no, we know where.
Did we know where?
I was the bartender.
You were not the bartender.
Oh
You know
yeah,
what?
he was. He
He
was
was.
the
He
Black
was
Dragon.
the
He was the
bartender.
bartender
Oh my
when he went back in
God.
time. That was a
Why didn't you save me?
because he
I
couldn't
couldn't.
because he had to make sure you died because that made sure the rest of the campaign.
But,
Yeah, yeah.
but
It was-
we have
oh.
your ashes.
But we do. That's
Wait,
right because
yeah,
I had
he
been
gave it
complaining
to
about.
him.
I had been complaining about not having him and wanting to bring you back.
I gotta say, you could come back because we are inconsistent.
You'll be level
We'll
1.
be level 1 in
Yeah.
this hellscape.
Yeah, that'll be fucking perfect.
If
Wait.
not, though, then I have to see you in the
I
army of the
haven't-
damned.
Can we build you a body? Like
I'll
a
still be level
I could
1.
build your body.
yeah, but if you're a level 1 giant, when
Going
You
up
wasn't a
against
giant.
gods.
we're not going up against gods yet. We have to get there. There's a bunch of levels.
We have 7 layers of Corsair to get through. You're supposed to start the campaign at about level 10. We're a little higher than that. So
Awesome,
we're
a level
probably
You
10
could probably
campaign
come in at
level
like
at level
level 5.
I can't because I died
Take-
at level 1.
We can get you a
Yeah,
LA,
but-
LA 10. Fuck it.
take one of the classes that we have, right? And then you'll gain XP at 1.5 times because you're apprenticing. And then we'll kill all the hard shit and you'll level up like crazy.
As my original character, if you revive me.
Sure.
Yeah.
You just have to
Yeah.
multi-class.
You should be a vampire. I can be.
Is
make you
anyone
a
a
vampire.
thief?
No.
Or a rogue, rather?
Nope.
No.
We
Well,
got a
then I
scion, a cleric.
Well, then my
That's on.
specifically precision planned out build will not allow me to do that.
Sorry to tell you, you probably got to drop that build.
You could
Yeah.
be a vampire.
That's what happens when I die. I dropped the entire build.
But if we bring him back
Not happening.
and
If
take
you-
him with us, I mean, if we brought him back, he wouldn't have a choice.
Yeah.
If you
We're big fans of no choice.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
control the undead pretty freely. pretty freely.
If you bastardize my character, I'm done.
I mean,
Too late.
you can't.
Yeah, I definitely have his ashes.
No, that's fair.
and he's been having sex with them every night. So.
It's
He
amazing.
can't. He can't.
I
He's,
can.
You're just a skull.
Lich love is a thing, dude.
Gotta get
Even if
that.
you're
It's
just
a
a skull.
status effect.
Even if you're just a skull.
I mean, I'm magic. I'm assuming.
Fair enough.
I figure
What?
something out.
Get that magical dildo
Yeah,
going.
there's an effect if you. I forget what it does, but it's called Lich Love.
Gotta love on the.
It's a bunch of like negative effects if you're a good person, but if you're a bad guy, it's pretty helpful.
I love fucking the dead.
And I don't think it has to be.
Necrophilia.
I mean, it's not necrophilia if you're both dead.
I mean, no, it still
I mean,
is.
it is.
It's only philia.
It's not. It's still fucking.
Oh!
Gay.
Saying it's not necrophilia if you're both dead is like saying it's not heterosexual if you're a male and a man and a woman. It's just what normally happens. Like, it's still heterosexual.
Is it?
Is
Yeah.
it, Joey?
100%.
This is 2018.
Yeah,
You know how many
yeah.
genders there are?
Don't fucking label.
126.
Legally, too.
Legally in Canada,
Wow.
126.
Hey,
Hey,
let's get off this
shut up.
subject. Let's get off
Hey,
this
how do
subject.
you want to introduce yourself to the internet? Oh, I'm
Hey.
gonna start a debate about how many
Legally,
different
too.
sexes there are.
That's
It
nice.
depends-
All
Actually,
right. Okay. Yeah, I agree. Stop. I was reading about Lich Love and I didn't hear what was going on.
I was waiting for him to say something.
Welcome to the internet.
All right, so here is Lich Loved. It's from Vile Darkness. What a goddamn surprise!
Don't let you play yourself.
By repeatedly committing perverted sex acts with the
Aw.
undead, the character gains dread powers. Prerequisite: evil brand. So you
Dread
have to run a brand.
pirate. Dread. you just come back as a dread pirate because Dylan's been taking care of it the whole time.
The benefit are that mindless undead see the character as an undead creature, even though they are not technically one. Becoming more and more like an actual undead creature, you get a +1 circumstance bonus on saving throws against mind effect, poison, sleep, paralysis, stunning, and disease. And that's all it gives you.
So it doesn't actually have to be a lich?
Nope, it makes you like, you aren't a lich, you're like still alive, you just get more closely related to the undead.
I got scared for a
Could I
second
just
there.
make him into undead vampire?
Yeah.
You just leave my fucking character alone.
Okay.
No,
I don't know, man, I've definitely been saying for a long time I was gonna bring it back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Since you died,
We
actually.
kind of just grab and take what we want.
Yeah.
We deal with consequences later. So.
If I brought you back and you said you didn't want to join us, I would tell you, sorry to tell you, you were brought back in the prison plane. You pretty much have to beat it or you're stuck here anyway, so...
I made my brother come back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's true.
I
Yeah,
tried
we forced him
not.
to come back. Or she forced him to come back, and we just, like...
He, like, was in this chain hell, like, full of chains, and
Pretty
she
good.
definitely was like... She went down there like, oh, yeah, like, you gotta come back. We have this, like, way to revive undead, because he was, like, a vampire, too.
He was like, no, I love chain hell.
yeah,
He literally said that.
He was like, nah, I don't want to leave. Fuck you. You really hurt my feelings that one time that you killed me.
I'd rather stay in chain hell
Oh
than
man,
reconcile.
we got into a big argument. I remember that.
Yeah, you were like, no, you're coming back. And he was like, no, I'm fucking not. You're like, look, I don't think you realize it, but, like, you don't get to pick. Like, you're coming back.
And then he fucked me over.
Yeah, he betrayed her super
And then
hard.
I made Dylan kill him.
Flay him in the worst way possible.
Yeah, it was really bad.
We were like,
Oh,
we killed
we
him.
chopped off his head, didn't we?
No, we tortured him.
We tortured him. Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought we chopped off his head too.
No,
Yeah,
that
I
was
mean, yeah, after
we
that.
chopped off the shark dude's head.
Okay.
His shark boy, come on me.
That was awesome.
That was
Shark
great.
Boy, where you at?
Making he was making fun of Ardorn.
Oh.
So
Because-
we had made the sea a blood sea. It was like,
On accident.
when we genocided all the gnomes, it turned the entire ocean to blood.
Nice.
And it stayed that way for like 6 months.
Oh, shit.
And then when it finally did fade away, it comes back once a month for a week during the full moon cycle.
Yeah.
And it becomes a blood moon. So Ardorn shows up to the big pirate summit. There's a summit once a year where all the pirates meet up, and Ardorn shows up in this like dinghy. He's like in this little tiny rowboat
with
and this-
one black kobold.
That we left him in.
Yeah, and this dude who's like a shark person. He's like, like an anthropomorphic shark or something. He's making fun of him for showing up on this dinghy. He's like, he's supposed to be one of the pirate king's like
First-hand man.
like right hand, but he's showing up on a fucking dinghy. Like, what a pleb, like, oh, what a. And I teleport over to his boat, and I was there like, yo, man, like, he's been on that boat for the last 6 months in the Blood Sea. I know, because I saw him 6 months ago on that boat with 4 more kobolds than he's got now. Like, because he only had one left. He had
That was my
5
favorite
left.
kobold.
It was the black one.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you were a black kobold when you started, so
Yeah.
that makes sense. And he worships you. So.
Yeah, he does.
But yeah, like, that dude pretty much shut the fuck up after that. And then when we had a big, like, hissy fit and, like, took over the Pirate King's thing on accident, which really was an accident. But I was basically like, he was like, you need to not be telling people what to do like you're the Pirate King. And I was like, look, no offense, Maneth, but, like, all of these pirates are coming with me to Carceri. Like, I don't really care what you say. And he's like, all right, fine. And he gives me the crown. And I was like, okay, cool. And then as soon as I had that crown, that shark dude tried to flee. And he was going fast because he was a shark in the water.
No, because what happened was you said, does anyone have any bouts? And he
Yeah,
said something, and you're like, you got anything else to say? And he just kind of took off.
Yeah, he started to run.
And then you teleported him to you.
Well, I was like, I didn't have a spell for that, but I had limited wish prepared because I was high enough level for that. So he was like pretty far away, and I definitely was like, "Can I catch him?" Like Rodney was like, "I don't think so. He's going real fast." I was like, "All right, if I can't catch him, he's right here." Like,
Limited wish.
and he
then
was like,
freaked the fuck out.
he was definitely like, "Oh fuck!" And I was like, "Get ready for like horrible torture, Shark Boy." Like, I kept calling him Shark Boy. And he was definitely this like really powerful pirate. If it wasn't us, he was talking to.
Yeah.
He
just needs to. He needed to know who he was talking to.
Yeah.
Speak when spoken to.
You should take a couple of tips from the angels.
I don't even remember their names.
Angel 1 and Angel 2. Come on,
It was
everyone
like-
knows this.
No, one was
They
like.
were like some of the only characters that turned out to be unimportant in the long run.
Because you dropped the entire.
Because I hated them. I was like, I don't want angels on my pirate ship. That's like not themed correctly.
Well, no, the guy was a half
Tiefling,
celestial,
sure.
and the other one was a half fiend.
No, they were
Well,
both
no.
celestials.
Oh, okay.
Sure.
Fair enough.
Yeah, we'll
Was
take a
Rodney
bug.
trying to? Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Was Rodney
shit.
trying to force the good guy side again?
I don't
No.
know. I think he just written those NPCs and he wanted them to be on the boat. Same with kind of like
Gross one.
he did the same thing with that chef who killed you with the death
Yeah.
effect. It was definitely like he just wanted the guy on the boat more than anything. And it's like, no, we don't like this NPC. Sorry. Like,
Yeah, right.
to be fair, when we do like NPCs, they become like our total bros. Like,
Yeah, Rit.
yeah,
Sorry.
Rip,
Yeah.
Howlet, Ardorn, Maneth, like
Yeah, right.
tons of just big, powerful people who we still just hang out with casually.
Except for that red dude. That red dude said.
Julius the Red, yeah, we
That's
murdered
fun.
him when I was like level 4 or 3.
Yeah, because he fucking walked up to us instead of shooting at us.
Yeah, Rodney
Yeah.
played him wrong. He forgot how he had
Right.
built the guy. He was like, he was supposed to use a musket. And then he came up and tried to fight us with a sword, and we just wrecked his shit. I don't know. You said like an hour or 2, so that's on you.
Just keep going, fuck it.
Yeah, I'm having a good time. That's the end of the Your D&D podcast, session 6.
No!
No.
No.
Actually, what it is the end of the Your D&D podcast, episode 6, the water campaign. That's all.
Well, we talked about other stuff. We talked about Thanksgiving
The water campaign.
and Spectrum.
Spectrum.
Yeah. Episode 6. Get dish. Like,
Episode 6, where we just bullshit.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, yeah, we didn't have a plan, but we didn't have a podcast with all of us as a group yet either, I think.
We
yeah.
wanted to get there.
And we know you guys have been wanting that.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
He says without actually checking his facts.
Yeah, right. Please stop making podcasts.
We know you want it.
We know you guys wanted this.
Please stop. It's like, you love us.
You
I
love
hate
us.
you all.
You know it.
Oh, my God. It's
But
fucking
yeah, I mean, shit, the water campaign was fun.
It was really fun.
I
Loved
bet.
it. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah, it really is.
Well,
sad
you'll be
that
able to
died.
figure it out once we bring you back.
My character might come back, but I'm not.
You'll be there in spirit.
Come on.
That's disappointing. I wanted to bring back Captain Morty.
I forgot that was your name.
You can bring him back. I just won't be there.
Yeah, but that's like, why? What's the point?
Yeah.
So you can control it and do what you want with it.
No.
Yeah, but we want to do that with you.
but
Yeah, I
don't.
can do that whenever I want. I can do
And that's why I'm not coming back.
well,
To be
'cause I can
fair,
take your brain.
Yes.
The only
And I know I'll get
one
upset.
time that Sam has ever used a mind altering effect on anyone in the party was Scott, because he wouldn't let us kill dragons, and then we still never fucking killed a dragon
You
after
felt
that.
bad about it.
I didn't feel bad about it. We
He
just didn't get a chance.
Yeah, I didn't feel bad about it. I
Yeah,
wanted to
I-
kill
No,
it.
because
we
we
met
were
a
in the...
silver dragon, and he
That's
was
the thing. Like, I
fucking-
wanted to make those wraps
I
out of
remember
fucking
him.
brain, and like a dragon's brain is big enough to make wraps out of. I was definitely gonna do that because I expected some power out of it too.
Mhm.
But
No.
we never got a chance. I really wanted to kill a dragon. Scott.
Nah.
Good job, bitch.
I mean, it makes sense. He was a dragon shaman who was also a dragon. Like,
It was a good dragon.
it was, but he met him and he was pretty chummy, even though Scott was a black dragon. It didn't
Black,
make much sense.
evil, horrible dragon.
I'm a dragon shaman before a dragon.
That's definitely what it was. That's what it boiled down to. Scott was like, look, I might be evil, but I think you're cool as fuck.
Because you're a dragon.
I'm evil, but you're still a dragon, and that's all right in my
And I'm
book.
like,
Yeah,
I'm
literally.
evil. What? And I was like, I'm evil,
Yeah, fair enough.
and I want to kill you, and I want to kill
I'm
To be
evil,
fair-
and you're a
We
dragon.
be
met,
fair-
like 4 or 5 dragons total, like other than Scott.
you. And we didn't kill any of them.
We didn't kill any of them.
We brought one
I
back
made
to
one a
life.
best friend. My best friend.
Did we really?
Yeah, the fucking
The
emerald
silent
dragon. Yeah. I'm like, heal. And it just fucking...
Yeah, you fucking asshole, dude. I didn't get any loot out of that thing before you healed it.
I still.
They were
you know what,
mining
Sam?
him.
I will never forgive you for the sword and the stone loot that you.
Oh
ruined.
yeah.
Oh, that's
yeah.
great.
I didn't realize, I guess. Because I thought it's still worth the same amount.
Oh wait, when fucking Scott threw away that gift from your.
Oh yeah, fuck you, Scott. Let me bring that up.
Oh, that was
Oh,
so
fuck.
bad. That was so much
Yeah.
worse.
Agreed.
It was, what was that thing called? Like an amethyst or something? It was a weird
something
name.
you really wanted.
Amethyst.
It's like a, yeah, it's a
it's
weird
like
name.
amethyst.
It's like a
Amethyst
worm.
or yeah, it's like this psionic
Amaranth.
worm. Amaranth, maybe? Amaranth? Yeah, I think that's it.
It was weird.
No, because what happened is I was like, you got a little bug on you. I'm going to do that.
No, you
but
fucking little bug.
no, that's literally what my thought process was. Oh, you got a bug. Swat it away. But no, Rodney's
With
like,
a
you got
giant
claws.
dragging
Dude,
claws.
no, because I was a kobold.
You were.
I was in kobold form, and he knew that. He's like, no, you still have claw attack. I'm like, that makes no sense. He's like, roll damage. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me?
It's the same thing what happened in Dylan's campaign to him when he was beating up a
Oh, that was great.
store owner.
Yeah. You
Yeah.
don't know your own power.
I was a kobold.
You
I
your
don't
own
have
power.
claws as a kobold.
Yeah, it didn't matter because like even if you knocked it off, it would have killed it.
Yeah, like it was a super weak thing that was going to
I
grow
don't
to be
think
unbelievably strong. Like,
I don't think if I knocked it off, you would have died.
and he got it
No,
from
that's
his
like-
psionic
it-
god.
It was a baby.
When that creature I read it attaches itself into your bloodstream and it grows from your bloodstream into the creature. And then like if it gets
yeah.
removed, it dies.
Okay. Yeah.
So either way, you were definitely killing
Either
us.
way, I
You-
fucked up.
Why did
His
you?
god.
Okay,
had
well,
just
let's put it
given
this
to him,
way.
too.
My
I
first
didn't mean to like kill it. I meant to just like you get a little bug on you. I didn't think it would
Why
actually
would
kill.
you swat the bug away from
Well,
the
you
bug?
you probably
Because
thought
no, because what happened is he literally was just like staring off into space, and we're like, "Hey, Sam, hey," and then all of a sudden a bug just appeared. I'm like, "Oh."
Yeah.
There's a bug on this bug. That's definitely not normal.
I didn't. No, he was. We didn't really know he was a bug because
Yeah,
he had
he
a
had this
halfling
thing.
cloak thing.
No, I had abandoned the halfling thing after the second.
I don't think you had by
session.
then. No.
No.
I didn't get
You
it.
held
I
on to
didn't
it
get
for a
that
long
gift
time.
until for a while. I'd been eating brains for a while before
No.
I even talked to my god.
No,
No,
No, man.
You were still the
half.
halfling thing.
You were upset to be called a bug for a very long time.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I looked like a bug.
no,
No, you didn't. You looked like a halfling for almost the whole time because
Yeah.
you disguised yourself. Until we basically told, like, it was when you started deforming to have tentacles and stuff that you stopped doing that.
Yeah, you didn't have that bug then.
But it was like, because it was supposed to get so strong, and like Scott killed it like as soon as you fucking got it, like literally the instant, and it was just like this crushing like, oh no, and then you were like, maybe I can get another one for my god. Not a fucking chance.
Yeah, he did.
No,
No.
he didn't.
No, you didn't.
If you
Not
did, you
until
would have
like
it now.
not for a while. I got a
Yeah, not for a
full-grown
while.
one.
Yeah, I get you, but no, I'm just saying
I
you
got a
did. Still,
full-grown
he
one,
still
like,
did get another
but-
one.
Yeah.
When it didn't matter.
It wasn't like right when we asked for it and
No.
needed it though. Like we were definitely going to be able to make it strong really quick.
Yeah.
That was
was
another
a
one, though,
really,
when,
really
when
big
you
fuck
went to
up.
the shopkeeper. That was
I am
fucking
sorry.
hilarious.
Yeah.
That was funny.
It was like the very first session I think you guys had ever
Yeah.
played,
Yep,
and you literally like
I'm gonna punch him.
AJ's character was fucking the party somehow, and you didn't really
Of course.
understand player knowledge yet, so you were trying to find out how AJ was fucking with your character, and you had some leads, so you were like following him because you knew in the game that this is what had happened. You just had to find the leads. And like the shopkeeper, because I was trying to stop you from metagaming, the shopkeeper was basically like, I can't help you. I don't really talk about my customers. You know what I mean? Like,
So it doesn't.
and so you were like, I punch him. Like, I want to, smack some sense into him. I was like, roll damage. And I remember later you telling me, you were like, yeah, as soon as you said roll damage, I knew I'd fucked up.
Yeah,
Wait, and then he knocks him out, and then he carries him into the street.
yeah,
he's
trying
like,
to get help.
he's like, oh, we got to get him to the hospital. Well, then the guards see him, or someone sees him because it was a crowded marketplace.
And they called the guards.
And they were like, guards! Like, oh god!
and the guards are like, "What's happening?" He's like, he passed out on the thing. We got to get him help." And failed a bluff check
Yep,
We
and then
ended
they all
up-
got arrested, except for AJ.
because he
We
wasn't.
ended up
he
in jail,
bolted.
and then while we were in jail, AJ stole all of our stuff.
All their shit from the jail's confiscation area.
Yeah, and then he
Looked at
arrested
us. Looked at us and left.
Yeah, didn't get him out of jail.
What a shit sucker.
Well, he didn't really know us.
It was a
but-
really bad dynamic.
No,
Yeah.
he did. He was there with us for like a minute.
It still wasn't very much, though.
As a
His,
player.
He didn't
his
really
character
know us.
never...
He knew us as a person, but his character didn't know anything
Yeah.
about us.
That was
an
because
excuse.
the funny thing is you guys got out of jail, and then you still knew AJ had all your shit, and you were talking to him about it at the bar, but like you guys tricked him because like a guard was walking over behind him and he didn't know it, and you got him to say how he stole all the stuff from the fucking. So that made things more at odds because then he got arrested. And then he was definitely, like, pissed off because he felt like you guys did that on purpose, which you did.
Yeah, duh, you stole it.
You didn't want to go to jail. Don't steal
It wasn't
shit.
even player knowledge.
And
thing.
then, like,
It was
the next
just,
time,
nah.
when he got out of jail, you guys ended up meeting this guy who was, like, your quest master from the beginning, and he put, like, a spell on AJ that was, like, you can't betray your party, you fucking asshole.
Yeah, stop.
That's one of those dynamics that wouldn't have worked out.
And then he just kept trying to break it. He just wanted to hurt you guys. That's all it turned into, and it was like...
It's all it ever is when he plays.
It was, well, not always. I played with him where it's not. But he and Sam had a previous history, and I think that was just not going away. It was clear. Like,
Yeah.
Aw. He's a kitty cat.
and out of the two of them, like, when it comes to playing D&D especially, I'd rather play with Sam.
Ah, that's right. I'm a genius.
I'd say that only
You
when
can
I'm in
cheese
Sam's
fucking
presence.
everything.
No, I mean,
No, I
like,
understand.
I don't mean any offense to AJ.
I like me some
Like,
Swiss.
I do like him as a guy, but when it comes down to playing D&D, it's been a long time now, too. But he wasn't very great at it. Like, he didn't roleplay very well, and he was a min-maxer, so I didn't have a lot of fun playing with him most of the time.
Show me the dud.
What are you doing, Scott?
Pissing with Sam. Because we knuckle bumped and went bam, and he's like, it's a dud. So I was going to be like, show me that again? I was going to start shaking his fucking hand.
Yeah, but the Sky campaign was
Fantastic.
Was a crazy long campaign, man.
Yeah, that was a really long one, too.
Ended in
We had more
total
breaks in that one, though,
disappointment.
too, where we
Yeah.
just couldn't play.
Ended in total disappointment.
No, they won.
Yeah,
Total disappointment.
He even met Paylor, eventually. Finally.
yeah, finally.
After literally the whole campaign.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, I remember that.
Completely garbed in Paylor outfit,
Mm-hmm.
praying to Paylor before every battle.
That's what you get for not being a cleric, dude.
My
Like,
unicorn was Paylor unicorn.
it's hilarious because you
I
started
met
as a
Nicole's
ranger.
god. Nicole.
That was fucked up.
More than once.
More than once.
And then she gave me gifts. It's like,
Yeah, and then she fucking left. And then she went-
I mean, Nicole was the druid, man.
And I was just like, she was
You're
like,
like-
"Wow, I
you're-
came here because that was a
you're
great
sitting there-
shot."
You're sitting there
But
like,
you have a druid. But you have a
you're
druid.
sitting there like, you know, Paylor makes your plants grow.
Yeah, right. You're welcome.
Like,
You're welcome.
Praise Paylor.
if she'd said that, she'd have been like, yeah, well, you're not Paylor.
Like you, yeah.
Not yet.
I know him. He and I are bros.
I don't. I don't.
Could you bring him down here so I can say hi to him, please?
Yeah, please. Please.
That was it was funny too because at the end I wasn't planning. Even at the end, I wasn't gonna have you talk to Paylor. And
Wow.
I didn't think about it, and then Sam made it a point because we played that last session. Like I'd say, almost 9 months after we had stopped playing, we got to where they could act because they were so close. They were like at the boss door, like ready to go fight Rodney, you, and Scott's characters from another campaign, which is something we do for sure. Like if there's an option to mix 2 campaigns, we'll have them fight for sure.
Of course.
Especially when we
It's
tried
best.
to planar travel and the first thing you pull out is the Askaya campaign.
Well, because
so-
they hadn't been playing it for months.
Yeah.
We had to
it
finish
went-
I was like, the world's gone. We couldn't finish it, so I'll just reuse it because I had done a lot of work for the maps, and like
we fucked that place up.
unfucking
Yeah.
acceptable.
it was really bad.
Oh man, we wrecked the shit out of that plane.
Well, that's good.
Then we had to come back and rectify it. Yeah.
And then I almost
You mean
wrecked your
rectify it?
anus.
No,
After we got
rectify
off
it.
our pity grudges.
Yeah, our
Yeah,
grudges.
that's true. Well, I mean, Sam did murder Nicole's entire family.
Yeah.
I personally did not.
Sam personally went through and
my
crusaded
my
druids.
father and
You were
his
there.
brothers.
I think I made it clear that you definitely helped. You just didn't
That was
know.
when we were kids.
Yeah, you just didn't
I was
know.
a kid, and I didn't think that I was able to.
You know, you can still murder
Yeah,
as
you
a
can
kid.
definitely still fight.
Well, hey, I guess I did.
The
And-
knife only weighs 2 pounds. Get
You
your
actually
baby
are the
arms up
one
there.
specifically who killed both of her parents.
Me specifically.
Yeah,
What a coincidence.
very coincidental.
Wow.
You actually also killed. You know what was crazy? The real bad guy of that campaign never got to do anything.
Yeah.
There was a necromancer in the north who was like the king's son. That was the whole plot of this campaign.
Never
Was
met
the
him once.
king's son.
We did.
They had faked his death because he didn't agree with his
I didn't
father
know
spreading.
that.
Yeah, this is the real story. This is what had happened. So if you went to the capital where the king was, there was that
Yeah.
big, huge garden, right?
Yeah.
That was because his son had been a druid. His son loved plants and stuff. And then his son was constantly trying to talk his dad into not expanding the cities more into the forest because Iskaya was mostly forested, and these cities were getting bigger and bigger and cutting out more of the forest. So he went, and they actually, like, as a family, because he was like, I don't want to be part of the royal family anymore because essentially I don't agree with what you're doing. So they, as a family, staged his death and made a fake, grave and tomb. And if you would have gone down there, it actually, into his grave, was like a tunnel that led out of the city that he could leave from. So that's what he did. Like, he left the city, and then he goes to the north and becomes this big evil necromancer, whose whole intent of making this necromancy army is so that he can restore the cities back to forests. So it was like, good and evil. But then these fuckers show up, and they're like, yeah, we're just already stronger than you. Sorry, we're taking your death army.
He's like, fuck. All right.
He's like, alright.
And then they destroy all the forests in the
No.
future.
And they destroyed
Yeah.
the one city I made out of druids.
They turned that into their, like, necropolis.
Yeah, we do.
It was bullshit.
But we
It was
walked
bullshit.
through like a.
It was crazy too, because you had gone there and you had been like, you did something like you prayed because like the druids who were living there were having hardship or something of some
Yeah.
kind, and so you prayed, and Alona came down, which was your goddess, and she was like, "Oh yeah, I fucking love druids. I will protect this city and keep these druids safe and stuff because Willow, this awesome druid, asked me to." And so Alona's totally protecting the city, like that's a real thing. And then they show up to the city, right? And the elder druid is like totally not afraid, not worried at all, because he knows that Lona's protecting this city. And he's like, yeah, well, I'm not scared of you. Like, you guys can do whatever you want, but you're not taking our city. And they start getting violent, and Alona shows up. And they're definitely like, oh, shit. But then they do something that gets like a 40 or 50.
Run.
And like, yeah, and so I roll, and of all gods, Neryl shows up too.
It's so stupid.
And Neryl's like, hey, Alona, you might want to leave these guys alone, because they're with me. And she fucks off.
She's like,
She's like, alright, got a death? That can probably still kill me. Like, I'm gonna leave. You can have this druid village.
sorry,
And
guys.
then the druid elder was definitely like, oh, fuck. Like,
The most regret I've
Visible
ever seen.
shitting of his pants.
yeah, he definitely was like, I really thought we were safe. Like,
It's that picture of the old
I
guy
did
whose
see
eyes.
druid. I did too.
It's a picture of the old guy's got like the squinted eyes, and he's like, ah, yes. And then the thing happens, and his eyes explode open, and he's just like, oh, our god just fucked right off.
yeah, it went from like this awesome rave party druid city to an actual literal necropolis.
Slaves everywhere.
Made of living ironwood because you forced the druids to make it for you.
And then that came and bit you in the ass because I came there and just went
Walk
through
right
the
through
walls.
Yeah, that's true. Nicole, when she showed up, because they went to the future, when she showed up to that place in the future, it was still made of wood, so she was like, oh, cool. Poosh, poosh, and like, just moving wood all the time.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Which I think was used actually as a big thing because it saved Sam from the Entropic Reaper, too.
Yeah. We were in a big line.
Yeah, that was something I did. The
What,
Trumpet
was it?
Reaper, yeah.
It was definitely like, there was this Entropic Reaper there.
Well, okay, I
You
didn't.
know what else you
I
did?
didn't choose the Entropic
You
Reaper,
chose
but I'm
it.
like, you know what? I want to have a guard just guarding this one hallway that goes nowhere, but just want it to be there just to piss with people. And Ronnie's like, Entropic Reaper. I'm like, done.
yeah, it was awesome because then
Because it sounded cool. I'm like, I want that.
they were there and they were going through the hallways, and the hallways were like 5 feet by 5 feet. They weren't very big.
Mhm.
And then Sam like opens a door or something, and it's literally like Entropic Reaper, and he's like, "What's this?" And then it hits him and does the entropic effect, and Sam's like, "Nicole, you're behind me. I need you to move. I need you to go the other way." Like, and then you guys did manage to kill the thing,
Damn it.
Aw.
and then, but the
Yeah.
thing is that entropic is really hard to remove.
Fucking
And
sure
they had
is.
this NPC cleric who was like the only good on the entire plane left in the future,
Didn't do
named Ruel.
shit.
And he's like, "Look, I can cure this for you, but it's a pretty big good spell. Like, something evil will probably come here if I cast it." And Sam was like, "I don't give a fuck. Like, cast the spell." So Ruel does, and this big, huge demon shows up, and he's definitely like, "I felt that. Who cast that?" And he's looking around, and then they fight it, and it was tough too.
Yeah, just
like,
the one.
Man,
that was a different one.
It was
That
so
was
hard when we went into the future. It was really hard.
I was trying so hard to kill you. I didn't want you to have to fight Rodney.
Yeah, I can understand that.
But I wasn't going
Had
to
to
do
do
it
that
unfairly. I was definitely like, if it kills you, it kills you. But if you survive...
Yeah, we almost died a lot.
If you survive,
a lot.
Rodney kills you.
You know what I
Vicious
thought was really
until you
cool was when
die.
you guys got back from the future, Ruel couldn't come with you because he was from the future and he had to do the ritual on his end to send you back. But then you guys through because Sam had met an Eldritch, which was totally weird, and it was named Dylan because
Hey, Sam.
because
Take
it's
1 damage.
like what happened was like when they went to this void plane, it was actually your guys' plane. So
Ha! Enjoy
you
that
guys
hole.
you guys had gone to a dungeon on your world.
Yeah.
And failed. You had to beat it within 2 weeks, or these 3 prime evils were going to devour your
I
plane.
had 3 days, and it took 2 weeks to make me a mummy.
You had 2 weeks, and it took 2 weeks. It took exactly the amount of time, because you died, and then they were like, "We're gonna make you a mummy." And Zach's character was the only one not a part of the ritual process, so he was sitting outside, and he's like looking at the temple that's a couple miles away that you just left, and there's like clouds starting to swirl above it, and like it's getting worse and worse by the day. And then he comes in like, "Hey guys, I think we might have a problem."
Shut
They're
up!
like-
We're
They're
fucking
like,
working!
"Shut the fuck up! We're doing a ritual!" And he's like, "All right," and he leaves. And then, like,
Poor
you guys
Zach.
are all done, and it's like, "Oh, that temple's definitely lost. We definitely didn't do the dungeon."
Time to go
Fast
through
enough.
TSA.
So instead, they just
Yeah,
went through a
right.
portal, and that led them to Askaya.
No, we went through
John, I do
TSA, not a
You
portal.
jumped right into a Stargate.
So when they left, that was where, when you went later, you found this book in the future that was like descriptions and stuff about essentially where they had come from. And one of the things in the book was like these 3 symbols, and then later you found their portal in their necropolis, and it had those symbols as options. And when you picked them and went through, it was just this empty void. There was nothing here. And that was because there were 3 evils. One of them was greed, one of them was lust, and one of them was gluttony. Yeah, and the biggest one was gluttony. He would
was
come
the
at
last
the end, and he devours the entire plane
Yes, it was.
once he's done. And so there was nothing there when you went through the portal. There was no more plane there, and so you guys are floating there in this nothingness. Like, what's going on? And you see like a speck, and it starts getting closer and closer until it's like your entire field of view, and it's still just getting bigger. You know what I mean? Like, and you're like, "Oh, like what is this thing?" And then it started talking to you, and you were like, "Oh fuck!" Like,
And then you're like, "What's your name?" And he's like, "I can't tell you my
yeah,
name.
he's
It'll
like,
literally
"It'll
kill
probably kill you if I tell you my name." And you were like,
What's your
Sam,
name?
You were like, "Nah, tell me." And it like,
I'll be fine.
so I'm like, it's like it tells you this like horrible sound that you can't even really comprehend, and then I rolled damage, and it literally killed you.
4K?
But because of where you were, your soul didn't know where to go, so it just popped out of your body next to you, and you were like,
What the fuck?
"Wow, powerful name." And then you made like a joke. You were like, "Can I hear it again?" And so he said it, and I rolled damage against your ghost, and it fucking killed it. Like, so you poofed out of existence, and then because your soul didn't know where to go, right back in. And you're like, "You know what? I think I'm good on that." Like,
And you're like, "You know what? I'm gonna call you Dylan."
and that was my name in the real world, so it was stupid, and it became very confusing. But I rolled with it,
I
and
think it makes
then
sense.
And then every
consistently after that, Dylan the Eldritch would just kind of pop into Jack Jackson and be like, "Hey, Jack." And at first Sam was having fun with it, but every single time I was like, "Take a point of damage, Sam," like every time without fail. And then sometimes he would just hurt Sam a couple more times because he didn't like what Sam was saying or whatever.
or just because.
Or just because.
Fuck you.
Sometimes, that was the thing too, sometimes he would literally, like, Sam would be in the middle of something, like, really hard. Like, he'd be doing something crazy, like, "Oh, I'm trying to balance on a tightrope while fighting a dragon," or something, you know, like, and that didn't really happen, but that's just an example.
That'd be
And, like,
funny as
during
shit.
that time, that's when Dylan's like, "Hey, Jack?"
That's some real fucking
And
new
it's
shit
like,
going on.
Sam's like, "I really don't have time for this." Like,
He's like, 2 points of damage.
"Yeah, take a couple points of damage, and we're gonna have a discussion. I don't like how you're doing this." Like, he's like, "Do we really have to talk about this right now?" He's like, "Why, are you busy?" Like,
Yeah, kinda.
Kinda.
Yeah, kinda.
well, yes, take a point of
I'm
damage.
fighting an army of the undead currently. Oh, 1 second. I gotta kill something.
So what do you like ravioli? Like,
Yes.
he was definitely
yeah, I
like-
love ravioli.
It was like
cool,
this-
cool. I'm glad I knew that. Take a point of damage. I'll talk to you later. That's definitely like, because I was definitely trying to make him regret that he'd named him Dylan. That was what it was.
No regrets.
No regrets.
No
No
regrets.
regrets.
That campaign campaign was so fucking long.
It was so stupid and
So
so,
good
great.
though.
We haven't had that many short campaigns, so.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
guys. I did that a lot in high school. I did one-offs a lot.
Yeah, you did.
And then I played few, multi-level campaigns that would last a couple sessions. And then right before I started playing with you guys, I definitely got into, like, no, I want to play epics. I want to get a character from, like, 1 to 20 if I can. You know
See,
what I
I
mean?
like the long sessions. I want to make. It takes a lot to make a character.
Yeah, you can do it in a session, but it's not real. You know what I mean? Like, Scott's Native Americans that both died. It's like, we knew they were low and Poe, but, like, I couldn't tell you about their builds. I couldn't tell you what they used. Like,
You know what? I can tell you low.
I'd rather you not.
Oh,
I have low saved.
I hope Lo dies a second time.
I mean, a third time?
4th time.
9th.
20th.
Take what it sounds.
Fuck!
Alright, well that's probably all the time we have here on the 6th episode of Dungeons and Dialogue.
I thought this was the 7th.
It's not.
It's the 6th.
The 8th?
It's the water campaign episode. The one in which the people talk about the water campaign.
The 40th one. Gotcha.
pretty sure we talked about Sky at the end.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
that's getting edited out.
Shit.
Good.
I bet, to be fair, I feel like, because we all did a podcast alone,
Fuck
like,
Keemstar.
there it
I'm gonna
is.
choke you with the shoelace.
What? You said it's gonna get edited out.
You can edit it out.
I think it's funny that,
Staying now.
in, like,
I'll make sure of that one.
I forget, I'm sorry.
Wow.
Well,
What do you
I
think's
lost it when
funny?
you said fuck Keemstar.
well, now that Dylan's lost his train of thought, I do want to go ahead and we'll just go ahead and bring this podcast here to a close. Once again, this has been Joey,
Scoot.
Nicole, Sam, and Dylan here with us today as well as our guests.
I'm pretty sure they
Should
can
we
say their
say-
names.
I'm pretty sure they can too, but I'm being a good
I don't
guest
announce
host.
myself, Scott.
Should we say where they can follow us, like our Instagram names?
Yeah, we have, we're
I
Your
guess.
D&D Channel on Instagram. We have a Twitch that we've been doing stuff on,
This is Your D&D
under
Channel.
Your D&D Channel. They're all Your D&D Channel. No spaces.
And
What
that's
else do we have? We have a
Instagram,
Twitter.
Twitch, YouTube, Twitter.
We technically have a Facebook, but we're working on making it more active. So that'll be coming up in the future. You can go to it, though. You can follow it already, and you'll start seeing stuff. So
Yeah, do it.
Yeah.
Yeah!
And with that, we will talk to you guys next time.
Bye.
Yeah.